Well, I moved to Berkeley in 2001 to become the editor of Wired. And I'd gone to Berkeley, so I knew the area well, and I'd always sort of, dreamed of living here. When we scouted the Bay Area, we have kids, we have 5 kids, and it was the right place, as far as we could tell, to raise kids. And I started scouting out what it would mean to build a company here. And I realized all those other advantages from a business perspective. The lower rent costs, the ability to park, the ability to get more industrial space so you could expand, the ability to fly. The fact that we have the Berkeley Marina right here and any number of parks that are appropriate for flying. The ability to hire people who don't want to commute down to the valley, who came here for the quality of life and would rather not cross the bridge. And then the relationship with the university. Now many of our staff come from Cal. We have a tight relationship with the university research labs, and being proximate just helps. Well, I got going in drones as a case of parenting gone horribly wrong. We got these 2 boxes in for review in the office. One a Lego Mindstorms kit and the other a radio control airplane. And I thought, this will be the best weekend ever. We can build a robot on a Saturday and then fly a plane on a Sunday, and one of the two will help the kids get excited. And I was thinking, what would have made a cooler robot and a better flying plane? And I thought, well, what if the Lego robot could fly the plane? That would be awesome. And I literally Googled flying robot, and the first result was drone. And I Googled drone, and the first result was autopilot. And then I Googled autopilot, and there was a lot of math, so I stopped Googling. And my kids and I, that evening, built a Lego autopilot on the dining room table. Kind of almost worked. Put it in a radio control plane. It kind of almost flew. Today that plane is in the Lego Museum in Billund. The kids lost interest instantaneously, and I went right down the rabbit hole. Here we are. The company started with, again, me and my kids hand soldering boards and sticking them in pizza boxes. That unfortunately was a success. The reason it's unfortunate is that if you do it once and they sell out, you have to do it again. And I just could not get the kids to do it again. So then I met a guy on the internet named Jordi Munoz, and he had some time and he was prepared to solder the boards together for me. So I said, let's start a company so we can receive the money. The company started. I thought that was the end of it, and then he kept growing it. And then one day I looked up and the company had a factory in San Diego and was doing $5 million in revenues, and I thought, my God, this guy I met on the internet who turned out to be a 19-year-old high school graduate from Tijuana. We raised venture capital, I quit my job, and here we are. Well, as a company, we're doing what Silicon Valley has always done, which is basically democratize technologies. In our case, we're democratizing the skies. We're taking a military industrial technology, flying robots, and making them available to consumers. We've seen that happen before with the personal computer. We saw it happen with the internet. We saw it happen with GPS. That opportunity to liberate a technology so that regular people can do extraordinary things with it, that's the opportunity. That's what we're doing with the company. That's what we're doing with the industry. We're at the first minute of the day of the personal drone era. The ability to take that camera and now get advantage that only the birds have had before. And to make it easy, no skill required, safe and creative, that those cinematic angles, that kind of directorial intent is built into the software. That's what drones can now do. Now that's the consumer side. On the commercial side, these things are basically big data gatherers. They can fly over farms and analyze crops. They can fly over construction sites and 3D map structures. These things have the ability to map the world in 2D and 3D in a way that we've only glimpsed with things like Google Earth. What I'd like to see for Berkeley is more companies like us come here. The reason we're in the Bay Area is the advantages of combining like-minded folks. Those spontaneous interactions, those, the kind of rubbing off other people, the interchange of ideas, just the buzz in the air. Here in Berkeley, BSD Unix, the sort of father of Unix, the B is Berkeley. This is really, the almost 60s, communitarian ideology about people, power to the people, individuals doing things together that institutions can't do on their own. This is where it started. And by now applying that model to one of the biggest, most static industries in the world, aerospace, and reinventing aerospace from a web innovation model is, I think, what we're trying to pioneer. What I love about Berkeley is the left brain, right brain synthesis. The arts and the sciences combined. And I think, Steve Jobs, said it best, that, that that understanding both of those, understanding that there's an art of technology along with the science of technology, is how you invent an iPhone. And recognizing that, that diversity turns into intellectual cross-fertilization, which turns into great products, I think that's something Berkeley represents.